Hey guys, so in this video we are going to be doing some financial maths. This is an introductory video. There will be more to follow which will be slightly more involved. But yeah, let's jump into it. Exactly 5 years ago, Mpo bought a new car for 445,000 Rand. The current book value of the car is 72,500 Rand. If the car depreciates by a fixed annual rate according to the reducing balance model, calculate the rate of depreciation. Okay, so let's first and foremost, let's get our equations down, and we start with saying that the final amount equals to the principal amount, and this is generally the interest is applied to it over a time period. There's a more complex one which looks something like this, and then we have the depreciation equations where the interest is negatively applied over a time period. This also has its more complex partner. So these two are interest equations, and these two are depreciation equations. Okay, so I'm not going to focus too much on the interest because we know that this is simple interest right there and this is compound interest right there. What we are focusing on, because that's what the problem specifies, is the depreciation part of it. We want the rate of depreciation. So when we look at these, this one is called the straight line depreciation. And this one at the bottom is called, let's poor arrow, this one at the bottom is called the reducing balance depreciation. If we go back to our question, we see that we want to use the reducing balance method, which is this equation right here. Okay, so let's get into solving the question. A equals to P1 minus I to the power of n. This is the equation that we're going to use because that is the reducing balance method. Okay, so let's put in some values. The principal amount is 145,000 Rand. The current amount, or the book value of the vehicle, is 72,500 Rand. We don't know what the interest rate is, or the rate of depreciation, sorry, is, which is an I. It doesn't look like an I. Let's make it look a little bit more like an I. We don't know that. That is what we want to figure out. And N is the number of times that the principal amount gets depreciated. So in this case, they specify that it's a fixed annual rate and it goes for 5 years. So annually, 5 years, that just means that n equals the number of years, which in this case is 5. Okay, so when you plug these numbers into our formula, we get that 72,500 equals to 145,000 times 1 minus I, which we're trying to solve, raised to the power of 5. Okay, so we want to get to this I, and it's buried in in a whole lot of operations. So firstly, what we want to do is we want to divide both sides by 145,000. 72,500. Let's just do this. We want to divide both sides by 145,000. And that leaves us with, when we do this in a when we put this in our calculator, 72,500, sorry, and divided by 145,000, we get that this is 0.5. This is equal to, this is 1 minus I to the power of 5. Okay, we're closer. I'm not going to write this one, it could be confusing. Let's make it as clean as possible. 5 Okay, so now we can see that we have this side raised to the power 5. So what do? We take the fifth root of both sides, 0.5. The fifth root of 0.5 equals to the fifth root of 1 minus I raised to the power 5. This one and this one cancels, and we are left with 1 minus I. Okay. The fifth root of 0.5, the fifth root of 0.5 equals to 1 minus I. Okay, so if we rearrange this, we'll have that I equals to, we add I to both sides, and then we subtract the fifth root of 0.5 from both sides. We find that I equals to 1 minus the fifth root of 0.5. And this gives us 0.125. So to find the interest rate, we need to take the interest fraction and we need to multiply it by 100, because usually when we put it into the equation and it gives us a rate, we divide by 100. So we need to do the reverse, which is 0.125 multiplied by 100, and that equals to 12.5%. That is the rate of depreciation for the vehicle if its principal amount, we bought it for 145,000 Rand, and the book value after 5 years is 72,500 Rand. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.